Friday, July 4th, the Bowdoin International Music Festival live streams a suite by Stravinsky, again, a Schumann piano trio, and contemporary composer Paola Prestini's The 6 Seasons of Trees. Boy, don't you just love the way contemporary composers give names to their pieces? Anyway, this will be at their standard time, 7:30 in the evening, Eastern Daylight Time, 4:30 in the afternoon on the West Coast, 1:30 in the morning in Europe, but possibly worth staying up for, and 9:30 Saturday morning in down under in Australia. They start out with Stravinsky Suite Italienne, then Paolo Prestini's 6 Seasons of Trees, and then Schumann Piano No. 1 in D minor, Opus 63. Let's talk about Paolo Prestini's The 6 Seasons of Trees. This will be played by Linda Tress. It's for flute, cello, and percussion, and it was composed for that. And when it was first premiered about a year ago in New York, it was premiered by a group, I can't remember the name, but I have it somewhere in my notes, which was specifically a flute, cello, percussion group. It's Linda Chessis on the flute, Jeffrey Ziegler on the cello, and Luke Rinderknecht, whom I already told you about earlier in today's live stream, on the percussion. Linda Chessis teaches at the Manhattan School of Music since 1986. She's been around a long time. Founder and artistic director of the Cooperstown Summer Music Festival. And back in the days, she studied flute with Jean-Pierre Rampal at the Paris Conservatory. Jeffrey Ziegler on the cello, he's on the faculty at the Mannes School of Music, New York City, but he's a real avant-garde kind of guy, artistic director of a group called Vision into Art, which is a nonprofit new music and interdisciplinary arts production based in New York. As for Paola Prestini herself, born in Trento, Italy, immigrated very young to Nogales, Arizona, from a musical family. Some highlights of her career. In August 2016, she composed, created, and produced the Hubble Cantata, which is a virtual reality mass exploration of the cosmos alongside the Hubble telescope. In 2016, she also composed and produced the Colorado, and she took a trip down the whitewater rafting down the Colorado River in order to get inspired about producing it. And that has toured widely across the U.S. In 2017, she started her own composing competition, the Hildegard competition, for emerging women, and in collaboration with Juilliard School Composition Department. Anyway, she provided a note to go with this piece, and I will read it to you. She said, "I've been reading Time Like an Ever-Rolling Stream, which is the title of an epistle the forester Gifford's Pinchot wrote for his son, reflecting on the beloved Sawkill that flows through the Pinchot estate in the Catskills. Simultaneously, I've been thinking of bloom as described by the 6 seasons of trees as bear, bud, burst, flower, fruit, fall. We also see the same stages in our own lives, in the generations of our families, and in the rise and fall of our civilizations." She goes on to talk about how trees actually make sounds, especially when they're thirsty or stressed. They make ultrasonic airborne sounds, about 20 to 100 kilohertz. We don't hear it, but bats, mice, and moths probably do. That's what you have coming for you in the 6 seasons of trees. And that's Paola Prestini. How about that? Then I'll tell you just a little bit about the other pieces. Stravinsky's Suite Italienne is played by Ian Swenson on the violin and Weikong Zhang on the piano. Swenson teaches at the San Francisco Conservatory, has done so for 20 years. Weikong Zhang is a more recent graduate of the Manhattan School of Music in collaborative piano, meaning chamber musician and accompanist. And then they do Robert Schumann's Piano Trio No. 1 in D minor with Soyeon Kate Lee on the piano, Arim Kim on the cello, whom I've already mentioned to you, in another context, and Itamar Zorman on the violin. Sounds like a lovely concert, and I'm very curious about what the 6 seasons of trees is actually going to sound